present here today. We are indeed honored and blessed to have amidst us His Excellency, the Honorable Governor of Mizoram, Shri K. Hari Babu Ji. We also have the pleasure today of hosting the dynamic Chief Secretary Mizoram, Dr. Renu Sharma Ji, and many other senior dignitaries. May I request the playing of the national anthem, please.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
As per the tradition of the Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, which is the chief organizer of this conclave today, may I request our technical team to play the prayer and everybody to please once again rise for the prayer.
स्निग्धापाङ्गविलोकिनीं भगवते मन्दस्मित श्रीमुखीं वात्सल्यामृतवर्षिणीं सुमधुरं सङ्कीर्तनालापिनीं श्यामाङ्गीं मधुसिद्धसूक्तिम् अमृतात्मिकामीश्वरीम् अमृतानन्दात्मिकामीश्वरीम् अमृतानन्दात्मिकामीश्वरीम्.
May I request His Excellency, Honorable Governor of Mizoram, Shri K. Hari Babu Ji, to light the inaugural lamp, the Chief Secretary to accompany him, as well as all dignitaries on the dais, please. Many, many thanks, His Excellency, for having lit the inaugural lamp today. I will now call upon Dr. Raghu Raman, Dean, Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, and C20 coordinator of this working group, to felicitate the Honorable Governor, His Excellency Dr. Hari Babuji, Honorable Governor of Mizoram. Requesting Professor Nithya of the Mizoram University to kindly felicitate Dr. Renu Sharma, Honorable Chief Secretary, Mizoram. May I request Dr. Jhansi Rani, Assistant Professor, Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, to kindly felicitate Professor Prabhakar Rath, Vice Chancellor, Mizoram University. Requesting Ms. Radhika Menon, Senior Project Manager, Amrita Create, to felicitate Ms. Hasina Kharbi, Founder and Chairperson of the Impulse NGO Network. Professor Manoj Verma of the Mizoram University to please come up and felicitate Mr. Lal Machwana, Vice President, Central YMA. Thank you, Professor Manoj. Requesting Dr. Baby from Mizoram University to come up and felicitate Professor Prema Nidangadi, C20 WG Coordinator. Thank you, Dr. Baby. Dr. Delvin Robin from the Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham to please felicitate Dr. Nithya of the Mizoram University. Today, we have all gathered here for the Civil 20 Working Group Conclave on Education and Digital Transformation. All our speakers will be speaking about this. I will not say too much about that at the moment. I will ask Professor Prabhakar Rath, Vice Chancellor, Mizoram University, to kindly deliver his welcome address.
A very good morning to all of you. Honorable Governor of Mizoram, Dr. Hari Babu, respected Madam Chief Secretary, Dr. Renu
Can you
Sharma.
can you adjust the mic, please?
Yes. Respected Chief Secretary of Government of Mizoram, Madam Dr. Renu Sharma, Vijay Nambiar, the Principal Coordinator of C20, Madam Hasina, Professor Lalnima Punitya, other guests on the dais, invited guests, participants, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great pleasure and a great recognition to Mizoram University, which has been provided by the Amrita University. There is a memorandum of understanding between Amrita University and Mizoram University to have a technology innovation, science and technology innovation hub, and the venue or the host institution is Mizoram University. As you know, Northeast region is very well known for flora, fauna, ecology, environment, forestry, horticulture, medicinal plants. This particular project, which has been sanctioned, approved by the Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India, and exclusively this will work in Mizoram to identify how these medicinal plants and other related, essential things that can be used. And as per our coordinator's information, there are many thousands of people, direct and indirect beneficiary of this particular project. And this particular project is going to identify and promote the indigenous knowledge system with the help of technology. With these words, I am sure Honorable Governor, Honorable Chief Secretary, other guests on the dais will provide their valuable inputs. How, and this is today is the launching ceremony of this particular project, and these inputs will help us a lot to carry forward. It's a 3 years project. I am sure this will be a great benefit to the people of Mizoram and also the area they will work upon. With these words, thank you very much once again, and I welcome all the guests on the dais for this particular program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your welcome address. Professor Prabhakar Rath is an academician and currently serves as the Vice Chancellor of Mizoram University. He has extensive experience in academia, having held various teaching and research positions at several prestigious institutions, including the IIT Delhi, the Indian Association for the Cultivation of Science, and the Institute of Physics, Bhubaneswar. Many, many thanks, sir, for the welcome address. Now we shall have the pleasure of hearing a short message from the chair of Civil 20, our very beloved Sri Mata Amrita Nandamai Devi Ji, also known as Amma amongst her followers across the world and the people of India.
പ്രസിഡൻസി പലതരത്തിലുള്ള വെല്ലുവിളികൾ നേരിടുകയാണ്. ഒരുപക്ഷെ പ്രത്യക്ഷത്തിൽ കാണാനും അറിയാനും കഴിയാത്ത ഏറെ പ്രശ്നങ്ങൾ സൂക്ഷ്മതലത്തിൽ ഉണ്ടായേക്കാം. ഈ അവസരത്തിൽ മനുഷ്യ രണ്ട് കാര്യമാണ് പ്രധാനമായി ഉണ്ടാകേണ്ടത്. മനുഷ്യ തിരിച്ചറിവും തിരുത്താനുള്ള മനസ്സുമാണവ. നിർഭാഗ്യവശാൽ പരീക്ഷയുടെ തലേദിവസം പഠിക്കാൻ തുടങ്ങുന്ന കുട്ടികളെ പോലാണ് നമ്മൾ. കാര്യങ്ങൾ കൈവിട്ട് പോകുന്ന അവസ്ഥ എത്തുമ്പോഴാണ് മനുഷ്യൻ നല്ല ബുദ്ധി തോന്നുന്നത്, എന്തെങ്കിലും ചെയ്യണമെന്ന് ചിന്തിക്കുന്നത്. ഭാവലോകം സിംഗിളിൻ്റെ അല്ല, മിംഗിളിൻ്റെതാണ്. സിംഗിളാകാൻ ശ്രമിക്കുന്ന രാജ്യങ്ങളും സംഭവങ്ങളും താഴോട്ട് പോകും. ഇത് പ്രകൃതി മനുഷ്യൻ നമ്മളെ താക്കിയതാണ്. അതുകൊണ്ട് സിംഗിളല്ല, മിംഗിളാണ് നമ്മുടെ മന്ത്രം. പണ്ടും ഇന്നും എന്നും ഭാരതമണിൻ്റെ മന്ത്രം ലോകമേ ഒരു തറവാടെന്നാണ്. ഈ സത്യം മാതൃകാപരമായി ലോകത്തിന് കാട്ടിക്കൊടുക്കാൻ കിട്ടിയ മഹത്തായ അവസരമാണ് G20യുടെ നേതൃത്വ സ്ഥാനം. അപ്പം പ്രധാനമന്ത്രി ശ്രീ നരേന്ദ്രമോദിയും അദ്ദേഹത്തിലുള്ള സർക്കാരും ഏറ്റെടുത്ത സംരംഭം ലോക ജനതയെ മാറി ചിന്തിക്കാനുള്ള ഒരു പ്രേരണമായി തീരട്ടെ എന്നാണ്. അതുപോലെ പരിവർത്തനത്തിന് പുതിയൊരു ദീപനാളം നമുക്കിവിടെ തെളിയിക്കാം. അതിലുള്ള ലോകമെമ്പാടുമുള്ള എണ്ണമറ്റ പ്രകാശനാളങ്ങൾ ജാജ്വല്യമാകട്ടെ. G20 എന്ന ഈ മഹായജ്ഞത്തിൻ്റെ ശംഖനാദം ലോകമെമ്പാടും സ്പന്ദിക്കട്ടെ. അടഞ്ഞ മാനവ ഹൃദയങ്ങളെ മലർക്കെ തുറക്കട്ടെ. ഈ പ്രകാശം ലോകമെമ്പാടും പറക്കട്ടെ. കൃപ എല്ലാവരെയും അനുഗ്രഹിക്കട്ടെ. നമസ്കാരം.
Thank you, Amma. Thank you for all your blessings, your love and unending affection that you shower upon the world. Now I have the pleasure to invite Dr. Renu Sharma, Chief Secretary Mizoram, for her keynote address. A few words about Dr. Sharma. Dr. Sharma holds a PhD in economics and has a rich academic background. She has authored several research papers and articles on various issues such as rural development, gender equality, and governance. Dr. Sharma is known for her administrative skills, her dynamism, and has been instrumental in implementing various development projects in Mizoram. She has also played a crucial role in improving the state's infrastructure and enhancing the quality of governance. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Manu Ranjana. His Excellency, Honorable Governor of Mizoram, Dr. Hari Babu Kambhampati, dignitaries on the dais, Vice Chancellor, Mizoram University, Professor Rath, Ms. Hasina from Impulse NGO, Shillong, Pulal Machwana, Vice President, CYMA, Ms. Manoranjana Gupta, Ms. Prema, dignitaries, participants through VC, we just heard them, dignitaries of the dais, friends. It is indeed a very interesting and enlightening experience to be here in your midst and be participating in this Mizoram Conclave on Civil 20, Education and Digital Transformation. I'm honored to be giving the keynote address. Mizoram had itself participated in this G20, B20 proceedings, and we had had the Business 20 conclave right here in the MZU campus itself from March 1st to 3rd. And I'm very grateful to the MZU VC and his team, which had facilitated the Business 20 conference out here. Coming to today's conclave, the subject is very topical. India is now a global leader in information and communication technology and in other cutting-edge domains such as space. The Digital India campaign is helping to transform the entire nation into a digitally empowered society and knowledge economy. While education plays a very critical role in this transformation, technology itself also plays an important role in the improvement of educational processes and outcomes. Thus, the relationship between technology and education at all levels is bidirectional. Given the explosive pace of technological development, allied with the sheer creativity of tech savvy teachers and entrepreneurs, including student entrepreneurs, it is certain that technology will impact education in multiple ways, only some of which can be foreseen at the present time. New technologies involving artificial intelligence, machine learning, blockchains, smart boards, handheld computing devices, adaptive computer testing for student development, and other forms of educational software and hardware will not just change what students learn in classrooms, but how they learn it. And thus, these areas and beyond will require extensive research, both on the technological as well as the educational fronts. Higher educational institutions like MZU are playing and will continue to play an active role, not only in conducting research, it'll fall down from here, research in disruptive technologies, but also in creating initial versions of instructional materials and courses, including online courses in cutting edge domains and assessing their impacts on specific areas such as professional education. Disruptive technologies may make certain jobs redundant, and therefore, approaches to skilling and reskilling that are both efficient and ensure quality will be of increasing importance to create and sustain employment. Data is a key fuel for AI-based technologies, and it is critical to raise awareness on issues of privacy laws and standards associated with data handling and data protection, etc. It is also necessary to highlight ethical issues surrounding the development and deployment of AI-based technologies. Education, of course, plays a key role in raising awareness about these issues and these efforts. Other disruptive technologies that are expected to change the way we live and therefore change the way we educate students include those relating to clean and renewable energy, water conservation, sustainable farming, environmental preservation, and other green initiatives. These have to receive our prioritized attention in education. We know that new circumstances and realities require new initiatives. COVID-19 was an example. The recent rise in epidemics and pandemics necessitates that we are ready with alternate modes of quality education whenever and wherever traditional and in-person modes of education are not possible. In this regard, the National Education Policy 2020 recognizes the importance of leveraging the advantages of technology while acknowledging its potential risks and dangers. It calls for carefully designed and appropriately scaled pilot studies to determine how the benefits of online digital education can be reaped while addressing or mitigating the downside. In the meantime, the existing digital platforms and ongoing ICT-based educational initiatives must be optimized and expanded to meet the current and future challenges in providing quality education to all. However, the benefits of online digital education cannot be leveraged unless the digital divide is eliminated through concerted efforts, such as the Digital India campaign and the availability of affordable computing devices. And this is the crux. It is important that the use of technology for online and digital education adequately addresses concerns of equity. Some of the crucial challenges faced in Mizoram in the digital space of education, I would like to highlight. One is the inequitable access to technology, and using it is the main problem in expanding digital learning and optimizing its potential. This digital divide also hits hard the children with special needs, those from migrant families, and those living in remote areas. Inadequate training of teachers is also an issue. Training of teachers to use digital technology for education and incapability of the parents to fill that gap come across as some important challenges. And some of the important solutions which are suggested are multimodal digital options involving radio, TV, mobile phones, which can play a pivotal role in narrowing the digital divide, which is currently underutilized. I'm emphasizing the digital divide because in a diverse country like ours, with various income levels and levels of prosperity, this is very, very important. Issues of equity in education and the use of technology are very, very important. Mobile apps can also be used by parents for enabling the dissemination of video content and homework. This can enable sensitization and capacity building in parents for creating the right kind of digital education environment at home. Blended learning should be encouraged and enabled to provide flexibility so that students can learn theoretical concepts online and practical concepts offline with the coordination of MOOC, online platforms, learning management systems, and proctored assessments. Natural language processing should be used for teaching coding in local languages for STEM-based subjects and life skills coaching. The right technology, infrastructure, and the ability of the teachers to use technology effectively in assisting their students in digital learning can help significantly. Context-specific, bite-sized content that can be disseminated in print and digital formats through cloud-based platforms having audio stories with voice response could be used. With this focus on the challenges and solutions and my special emphasis on the issues of digital divide and addressing issues of equity, I would like to conclude my keynote address and thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity of sharing my thoughts at this forum. I wish the conclave very fruitful interaction and equally fruitful solutions. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma, for making a very insightful keynote address on the subject of education and digital transformation. You are leading the way in Mizoram, and we are sure that you will herald further and more positive changes for the people of Mizoram. Our best wishes are always with you, madam. You have pointed out many challenges ahead. Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham is always willing to join hands with you in all your endeavors. Thank you once again. I will now ask the technical team to please play a short video message from Ambassador Vijay K. Nambiar, who is the Principal Coordinator for C20.
Honorable Governor of Mizoram, His Excellency Dr. Hari Babu Kambhampati, the Honorable Professor Pravakar Rath, Vice Chancellor, Mizoram University, Sampujya Swamiji, esteemed dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to everyone present at this conclave. I am honored and delighted to be invited to speak at this conclave on education and digital transformation today. Let me, at the outset, in my capacity as the Principal Coordinator or Sherpa of C20, provide you with a brief introduction of our engagement group. The C20 or Civil 20 is an official engagement group of the G20 representing the civil society organizations of the G20 member countries. The group was formally established in 2013 during the Russian presidency and provides a platform for civil society organizations to engage with G20 leaders on issues of global importance and to transmit to governments around the world the concerns and priorities of the common people on issues affecting their lives that need to be addressed satisfactorily. By facilitating policy dialogue between G20 governments and civil society organizations, it thus serves both as a sounding board as well as a transmission belt connecting governments with their peoples. As chair of the C20, Amma exemplifies a vision of civil society where the individual and family, as well as society, markets, and the state, understand their respective roles in a new light, where each works not in competition or conflict with each other, but rather to supplement the other in pursuit of an overall harmony. As she sees it, the fundamental or foundational approach to all relationships should be the principles of unity, solidarity, and compassion. The work of India's civil society groups cut across a multitude of sectors. As such, the C20 today has set up over a dozen working groups under a variety of thematic heads. These groups are set up in accordance with the so-called Osaka principles, representing both continuity in terms of our traditional global concerns, as well as reflecting newer priorities of relevance to a changing world and aligned to India's concerns as host country. The theme of India's presidency, namely that of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, calls on each one of us to move away from narrow sentiments and to embrace a wider perspective that celebrates the bounties of nature and the world. As Amma constantly reminds us, there are two kinds of education: education for livelihood and education for life. While everyone needs to undergo training and acquire the skills needed to make a living, the more important task is education for life. This is a process that helps us to obtain a better understanding of the profound importance of making our individual lives useful to our fellow beings and the responsibilities and duties they entail. Amma's desire has always been to bring these two tracks together, developing and honing professional skills and talent to a high level of quality, while also inculcating in all more durable qualities of mental strength and compassion that would help them serve society meaningfully and thus uplift the world. As you are all aware, the Education Working Group of the G20 will hold its third meeting in Bhubaneswar in the next few days. At this meeting, there will be official level deliberations on 4 identified priority areas: foundational literacy and numeracy, tech-enabled learning, future of work, and research collaborations. Digital innovation has the power to complement, enrich, and transform education and speed up progress towards Sustainable Development Goal 4. In this context, I wish to make special mention of one innovative practice adopted in India. In September 2022, the Ministry of Education launched an O-Lab project for school children to teach them vocational skills. The labs utilized 3D simulation and virtual reality made available by Amachi Labs through its Diksha platform. It was this research center under the Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham that designed and developed the virtual lab in collaboration with the vocational education unit of the NCERT, with the aim of assisting the qualitative development of school education in India. I think this is a significant achievement. In overall terms, the challenge today is to bring together infrastructure. Thank you.
A big thank you to Ambassador Vijay Nambiarji, who could not be present amongst us, but he conveys his best wishes. May I now invite Professor Prema Nidangari, who is the National Coordinator, Working Group on C20, Education and Digital Transformation.
Om Amriteshwari Namaha. My pranams to the Honorable Governor, distinguished members on the dais, and esteemed delegates. I'm privileged and excited to be part of the C20 event at Mizoram University. Through Amma's quote, I welcome Amma's presence to this conclave and to our hearts. This quote resonates with the beautiful culture of the Mizo people, and I will try to pronounce the word Tlom Nai Na. Let us all proceed with one mind and one goal: to work selflessly for the world's welfare. May our acts become a noble ideal for those who will come after us. May the tree of our life be firmly rooted in the soil of love. May our good actions be its leaves. May our kind words be its flowers. May peace be its fruits. May this world grow and prosper as one family, united in love. May the ethos of Vasudeva Kutumbakam, the world is one family, awaken to be put into practice and bear fruit in everyone. May we realize a world where there is endless peace and harmony. May divine grace bless us. This is Amma's quote, and it so much resonated with Thuong Nai Na. I think you all can pronounce it much better. Next slide, please. So the C20 Education and Digital Transformation Working Group, our engagement so far, this was a huge effort by members of the MA Mart, Amrita University, hundreds of CSOs and NGOs in India, and experts from G20 countries, but also African countries and other developing countries were also invited and participated in a whole series of virtual events and also physical events such as the one happening here. And so far we had 76 countries, over 10,000 participants, of which over 5,000 were international. They either participated or were expert speakers or gave us input into surveys or provided policy recommendations. So that is the scale that we are working with, and it is still not complete. We have had village chapels also in India, within India, in over 21 states with a whole lot of participants. And we have participated at the G20 Education Working Group meetings and also at the G20 Digital Economy Working Groups. In some of them, we also went and presented and shared our thoughts. Next. Based on our research and deliberations, we have identified the following sub-themes which are important and interlinked. And remember, this process came from the background survey of what the previous C20 and G20 policy recommendations was, also looking at the UNICEF, UNESCO, OECD, other country policies, including India's own NEP 2020 and Digital India programs, and synthesizing all this from an NGO and civil society point of view. What is the NGO and what is the civil society, and what are the experts? What is, from our point of view, what do we see? And this is what some of the themes that have emerged where the discussions are going on. The very first one is what we call education for life and global citizenship. Global citizenship has been talked about in the past in G20 and C20, especially in the Italian presidency, global citizenship had come up. But we are really taking it to the next level with our education for life, where we want to look at ancient cultures, we want to look at indigenous wisdom, such as what was there in the Mizo and other areas in South America, Australia. There's a lot of things where people live in harmony with nature, compassion being at the root. And how do we promote such education formally into education systems? So that is the foundation for everything, and it will automatically bring in equity if all of us are compassionate human beings. So that is the thinking, and also to make our own minds, the mind of the youth, very strong. Maybe it's with mindfulness or other practices, so that when we are faced with a difficult situation, we don't fall, we don't commit suicide, but we move on. So that the first one is really the foundation. And the second theme that came out very strong was the education for persons with disabilities. And early identification, early intervention, assistive technology. So what we found, which was very heartening, is we found professors who are blind. Professor Sriram Mittal, he was a university professor. He's retired now. He's completely blind, but he is guiding PhD students. So the possibilities of persons with disabilities, if they are given the right conducive atmosphere. And this happens right from the family. You know, the family may say, my child cannot do it. There is the stigma. There is the inclusive education, which now the government of India has come up with very good policies, but they have to be implemented. And how do they get implemented? So all those discussions are happening with a very strong group from within India. And we also have UNICEF and other organizations from outside involved in this. Also customization, because you might have expensive technology, cannot be used in India. You might have it only in English, cannot be used in India. So all that adaptation has to come. Learning equity and emerging technologies is the other theme that has come up. So here we want to say that there is equity in learning, but we are also proposing a learning equity audit. So far we say there's financial audit, but has the learning equity happened? And skill development, of course, is a huge area. In skill development, we want to drive convergence between government, industry, CSOs, other relevant stakeholders, leverage public-private partnerships. So that is the angle we are looking at. Digital transformation and digital accessibility, as Madam spoke, it is really reflecting the value, principle, action, design approach is what we are looking at. The human-centered design, can we make it inclusive? The Indian government has done tremendous work, and probably this is something we can say can be replicated in other countries, including the direct transfer. So we had somebody from Africa say, there's a lot of funding, but it's not reaching the right people. And what did India do with the direct transfer? So a lot of money is now going to the right place. Digital ID, the Aadhaar card, digital ID, direct transfer. So those are examples of what India can offer as best practices to the world. Education in emergencies is the last one. Next. And we've been having a series of conferences and workshops, such as today's event. Our major, big last event where we will finalize the policy is on May 20th and 21st in Trivandrum, with an optional visit to Amma's Ashram on May 22nd. I invite anybody that is working on education or digital transformation to our summit. And finally, I was just thinking that perhaps, I know we have the Young Mizo Association here, perhaps we can consider a youth parliament for Mizoram. So we did this in India, and we have another international one. What that would be is jointly a C20 event where we can have youth from different districts of Mizoram. Let them identify the problems, let them come up, propose policy recommendations and solutions, and let them connect it to policy. And it can be a youth parliament where each representative of a district gets only 4 minutes. And, we select the best one. And if we can do this, we would love to sponsor one person from here to expense paid trip to come to Trivandrum and host them to also present from a Mizoram point of view your policy recommendation. That is it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Prema Nidangari, for your warm and loving words and for apprising us about the progress of the working group under your dynamic leadership. Dr. Prema is a wonderful speaker, and I personally love to hear her all the time. I think the idea that she's floated today about the Youth Parliament of Mizoram is a wonderful idea, and we will hope that the CYMA will respond to this wonderful suggestion. May I now invite Ms. Hasina Kharbi, founder of the Impulse NGO Network, for a thematic address. She's a highly acclaimed social activist and entrepreneur and the founder and chairperson of Impulse Network. She's based in Shillong in Meghalaya, but she travels all across the Northeast and is widely known. She has dedicated her career to fighting human trafficking and promoting social entrepreneurship and has won numerous awards for her work, including the Ashoka Fellowship in 2005. Welcome.
Thank you, Manoranjana Gupta. And thank you, Amrita University, for bringing me here. And with a lot of honor to have His Excellency, the Governor of Mizoram, here with us today, Honorable Chief Secretary of the Mizoram government, the Vice Chancellor, and all the participants. I think I bring a bit of an insight on 25 years of our work in the Northeast and taking the topic today, digital transformation. When I look at digital transformation over the last 25 years, for us, it has gone beyond the universities, beyond the academics. Real transformation in terms of digital, it's when the development sector adopt and the use of technology. And that's when the real accessibility of how we engage the larger community to bring larger change in the ecosystem of what all of us gear up, whether it's education, whether it's development, we're looking at rights of human being, or the access to all the rights that we are all enduring every day. I just wanted to highlight one of the major importance is accelerate innovation and learning. Is an initiative that we at the organization Impulse NGO Network has brought together with the collaboration of the 8 states of the Northeast, especially the law enforcement agencies. The learning lesson that if we have to address human rights issues, if we have to address the issue of data management in the cases that we have addressed, it is important that the law enforcement utilize digital education as well as the application of technology. Then only we'll be able to have more cases being taken to the next level. So we had basically introduced Impulse Case Management Center. We are glad that Mizoram, the law enforcement with the former DGP, was one of the biggest instrument who brought that law enforcement can actually learn digital education so that they're able to exchange data and able to access the cases so that they will be able to give better justice delivery system. And that digital innovation, which is called the Impulse Case Management Center, which actually was taken forward in the 8 states of the Northeast, got the World Innovation Prize in 2012 from the World Bank and the Japanese Most Innovative Development Project. And I feel very proud that that grew up in the region and it went to 5 countries and it's being applied in 5 countries. So what I'm trying to say here is that we have a huge power and energy of young people in the region because we got this incubated at the Indian Institute of Technology in Guwahati, and how this has actually brought a different education system among the law enforcement that they have to go with time. And today, digital education is a process and a way forward. That's one great example that was born out of this region. The other is that when we're looking at the real initiative on the economic upliftment of women, which is actually the other angle of the work that we have been doing, it is the power of how the digital process of finance that women at the grassroots is able to become much more reliant when they are able to market their product. And that's when we introduce the whole process of the ecosystem of weaves. So from Impulse Empower, we work together in every state of the Northeast We cover around 30,000 women artisans. And we are so happy today that standing here, we have, of course, Monte here, who is also our team lead, and also Cotnet, our partner in Mizoram, who have also taken this to the next level through the process of our work, that the people who are displaced in Myanmar, from Myanmar in Mizoram, and the host community are being able to amplify that through this whole process. And I'm glad to have Lewis here because he's coming and traveling to whole of Mizoram right now, is to be able to use the digital platform to tell impact stories. Because today, if you have to inspire more young people, if you have to bring people on board, then I think the digital platform is also inspiring other, this small initiative from the ground. So for us, when we talk about digital transformation, I think we abide by that whole process, that there has to be a convergence of the states and the civil society working together. And I'm proud that in 25 years, every state in the Northeast, and I think Mizoram has been very proactive, progressive. When I look back, we were just talking, Jimmy, who's just sitting here, 20 years ago, when we were trying to tell the enforcement that we need to use digital platform. It was something which everybody was quite not opening to the whole process. But today we are standing and re-talking that what we can do, and this is how India has transformed the whole process. So that is where the growth process of what the work we've been doing. Adopting innovation is another process of education. The huge, I would say, innovation in the region, if impact storytelling, the partnership that we have with Meta, that has brought together to tell stories of entrepreneurs from the Northeast to the world. And that is the power of telling that there's a possibility. So I think when we talk about digital transformation, it is not about training and education. It's about showcasing innovation of a region that a lot of time, I think we are standing in a world when we cannot even say anymore that the Northeast is not out there. I think digital transformation can pave a way to a better progressive and engagement, because we are also geographically in the center of a Southeast Asia, where we are talking about economics, we are talking about exchanging and convergence, or we are talking about real co-creation. With that, I think this conclave will take a long way of bringing more participation and engagement. And I think with the right people on the dais, they can really definitely take this to the next level. And the university, of course, that I'm glad to be here again, because when you started the incubation out here from IIM, I was part of the process of this. YMA is a strong strength to the whole communities out here. So with that, I'm so honored to be sharing those few synopsis of what has happened in the region and how digital transformation can pave the next level of education and as well as engaging and bring better economic transformation in the region. Thank you.
Adopting innovation is itself a way of education, and impact through digital storytelling is important to carry the message, says Hasina. Thank you, Hasina, for your address. You have wide practical experience, having worked with several voluntary organizations across the Northeast. We wish you the best for your future plans, especially with regard to Mizoram. I now call upon Mr. Lal Machuana, Vice President, Central Mizo Association, to deliver special remarks on this occasion. The Young Mizo Association is the largest and most comprehensive NGO of Mizoram. YMA plays a vibrant role in addressing people-centered developmental issues and problems of the Mizo community, which is why the people of the state love them and adore them. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Respected Chief Guest, Dr. Hari Babu Kambhampati, His Excellency, the Governor of Mizoram, Sri Vijay K. Nambiar, Principal Coordinator, Madam Dr. Renu Sharma, our Chief Secretary, Professor Prabhakar Nath, Vice Chancellor of Mizoram, and all other important dignitaries and distinguished guests. First of all, I would like to thank the organizer for inviting YMA in this conclave and giving us an opportunity of this special remark. Since I represent YMA, I would like to share a brief reports on about YMA, the roles and responsibility of YMA, OMA is established in 1935 by the Christian missionaries and pioneer Mizo Christians with the main agenda of helping the needy. It is a community-based voluntary organization having three important mottos: proper utilization of leisure time, reverence for good Christian life, striving for development of the Mizo society. At present, the organizational structure is we have one central OMA, 8 sub-headquarters OMA, 50 groups, and 819 branch OMA all over Mizoram and even in Manipur, Shillong, and Tripura also. And we do also have a branch in Bangladesh, Sajek. At present, we have 473,872 members within and outside Mizoram, out of which the male member is 276,689 and the female member is 197,183. We used to have annual theme. In Mizo, we used to call Kumpuan, which is related to sometimes education, forest conservation, cleanliness, self-sufficiency, moral values, etc. At present, the annual theme is Safeguard the Land and the Mizo People. Several programs has been conducted many times to support with many other stakeholders and even with the state government also for the development of the people and for the success of the annual theme. Like awareness campaigns, seminar, competition, etc. has been organized many times. Since we Mizos are very shy and difficult to have a very difficulty in connecting with the rest of the world, and even with the other states of India, I hope that through this digital transformation, the ability of the Mizo youth can be explored. The task of OMA at present is to remove or reduce the different social evils such as HIV/AIDS, drugs and its abuse, and fighting against corruption and conservation of environment. Now, presently, OMA has 287 reserve parks within Mizoram by its own, and 10 social forestry, 16 fish ponds, and 20 forest sanctuary. And we do also protect 257 rivers and streams in collaboration with Fishery Department within Mizoram. And with these few words and say about the organizational structure and the aims and objectives of the OMA, I hope that now we can better understand OMA. And I once again would like to thank all participants and organizers and wish that with this conclave, something better will be coming out. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Lal Machwana, for your special remarks and briefing us about the activities of the Young Mizo Association. Thank you very much. Today is a very important day for us. His Excellency, the Honorable Governor Shri K. Hari Babuji, will be launching the STI Hub today. The STI Hub is a collaborative effort of the Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, the Mizoram University, and the Central Department of Science and Technology. The project is all set to improve tribal livelihoods through digital literacy, substance abuse awareness, processing of forest products, and also promoting traditional medicines. I may now request Dr. Raghu Raman to come forward with the remote and request His Excellency to launch the STI Hub.
ആധ്യാത്മികതയും ഭൗതിക വിജ്ഞാനവും പരസ്പരം കൈകോർക്കുന്ന ഒരു കാലഘട്ടത്തിൻ്റെ പടിക്കലാണ് നമ്മൾ മനുഷ്യരാശി വന്നു നിൽക്കുന്നത്. അങ്ങനെ ലോകമെമ്പാടുമുള്ള ഭൗതികവും ആധ്യാത്മികമായ വിജ്ഞാനത്തിൻ്റെ അറിവുകളെ ഒന്നിച്ചു ചേർത്ത് ഒരു മഹാനദിയാക്കി മാറ്റാം. മനുഷ്യരാശിക്ക് ജീവജലം പകർന്നു തരുന്ന ഉത്കൃഷ്ട സംസ്കാരത്തിൻ്റെ പുഷ്പവാടകളെ സൃഷ്ടിക്കാൻ നമുക്ക് ഏവർക്കും കഴിയട്ടെ.
Mizoram, one of the 7 states of the northeast region of India, is a beautiful land of rolling hills, rivers and lakes. While literacy rates are high, Mizoram also has a high number of unemployed, and the rugged land makes ease of doing business a major challenge. Substance abuse has been identified as a rising concern among young people here. Health indicators highlight the prevalence of anemia in children, adolescent girls and women, and growing NCDs, including various types of cancers. Under a grant from the Department of Science and Technology, Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, in collaboration with Mizoram University, plans to build 2 science and technology innovation hubs in the districts of Aizawl and Shurchip to promote sustainable livelihoods through capacity building and skill development for tribal communities. The project interventions will also include school-based peer awareness against substance use through an ambassador program and digital literacy. The project aims to create social enterprises and strengthen market linkages and supply chains, empowering and training young people in the direction of science and technology entrepreneurship. The project aims to incorporate value-added Ayurveda-inspired and nutritional health products that use local resources. Another important objective is to document, research, validate, and conserve the indigenous knowledge systems, skills and practices of different tribal communities through inputs of science and technology. With close to 4,500 direct beneficiaries, the STI Hubs will indirectly benefit about 40% of the STSC population in the selected districts through self-help groups and knowledge dissemination. The STI Hub is a collaborative initiative taken by the government and private sectors to address key challenges, provide sustainable solutions, and create a thriving ecosystem in the state of Mizoram, paving the way for a brighter future.
We are indeed honored and privileged to have had His Excellency inaugurate the STI Hub. I now have the honor to invite His Excellency Dr. Hari Babu Kambhampati ji, the current Governor of Mizoram, to please deliver his inaugural address. A few words about the Honorable Governor. Shri Hari Babu ji is the current Governor of Mizoram, being the first person from divided Andhra Pradesh and first Telugu person serving as the Governor of Mizoram in Northeast India. He was a member of Parliament to the 16th Lok Sabha from Visakhapatnam, which was his Lok Sabha constituency in Andhra Pradesh. In 1999, he was elected as the member of the Legislative Assembly from Visakhapatnam. In March 2014, he was elected as the state president of the Bharatiya Janata Party. A very soft-spoken and amiable personality, he is much loved by the people of Mizoram. He is a visionary politician who keeps a sharp focus on developmental projects in the state and believes in the principle of equitable distribution and the fruits of development going to everybody. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, and Sabka Vishwas is his motto, in line with the vision of our Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi ji. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Dignitaries on the dais, Dr. Renu Sharma, Chief Secretary Mizoram, Professor Prabhakar Rath, Vice Chancellor Mizoram University, Mr. Lal Machuana, Vice President, Central Young Mizo Association, Ms. Hasina, Professor Lal Nawa, Professor Prema Nedungadi, dignitaries, invitees, and participants, and friends. It is my privilege to be the chief guest at the C20 Mizoram Conclave on Education and Digital Transformation. I am happy that we are discussing the future of education and digital transformation in the context of India's G20 Presidency and its C20 Engagement Group. I thank the C20's Education and Digital Transformation EDT Working Group for their positive initiatives, as the potential for technology to connect communities is enormous. It is my desire that our efforts must benefit our society, our neighboring countries, and the entire world in the spirit of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, which is the theme of India's G20 Presidency. Through Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji's vision, we are connecting with countries around the world to address crucial global issues. As the premier forum for the world's leading developed and emerging economies, G20 is helping to shape a global architecture that is needed now more than ever, especially as we address the economic and social challenges due to the pandemic. Thus, Government of India has ensured that sustainable development and inclusive growth are the focal points of our G20 initiatives. And the C20 Engagement Group, representing the world's civil society and NGOs, is one of the most crucial channels to address these issues. I am delighted that Sri Mata Amrutanandamayi Devi, a spiritual leader fondly known as Amma, has been named as chair of C20. India's C20 is collaborating with hundreds of civil society organizations, CSOs, from around the world to voice common concerns with the vision of leaving no one behind. If we as global community utilize the influence of CSOs and NGOs, the impact will certainly reverberate throughout society as a whole. As we all know, the NGOs and CSOs are valuable partners for the government in implementing social schemes effectively. In Mizoram, we have a close-knit community and a vibrant civil society. Our NGOs address various issues ranging from societal problems to the environment. We maintain strong connection to our traditional values and ethos. We have a high literacy rate and vast forest cover. However, we also face challenges with a high percentage of the population still dependent on shifting cultivation. The Northeast region in general, and Mizoram in particular, is inhabited by diverse tribes and communities. Indigenous people often face challenges such as endemic poverty, poor health, and cultural erosion. Many times, these are linked to forest degradation. Education and digital transformation offers a pathway to come out of the reliance on subsistence agriculture in a world of unpredictable climate patterns. As the reach of CSOs is vast, C20 has innovatively broken into 14 working groups to address various needs. The one which we are addressing today focuses on education and digital transformation. COVID-19 ironically brought people together through online communication. Though educational institutes remained in lockdown, digital education flourished. This has allowed us to extend education resources to students in remote areas. Digital education is a vital tool which can bring about revolution in education and training. It promises to mitigate global challenges of education, including quality of instruction, easy access, and equity. This digital learning infrastructure means that a delivery system for knowledge is made available for students who cannot reach classrooms due to distance and cost, especially throughout rural India. In the big picture, the projects build a tremendous bridge across economic and geographical divides and carry a huge potential to expand knowledge, access to all the strata of society, to instill self-confidence in both students and teachers, and to open new trajectories for future learners. Through digital literacy, we can achieve an education system that is accessible, equitable, and inclusive by maintaining the need for a flexible and multidisciplinary approach based upon needs and social contexts of different cultures. And as we move forward with our efforts to improve the education and digital landscape of Mizoram, we will benefit by keeping this vision in mind. We must strive to provide quality education to every child in the state, regardless of their background or location, by leveraging technology to reach them. Today's modern education has to be technology assisted. Only then can it reach a greater number of people and the masses. A modern digitized society is the order of the day. A country's advancement today is measured by its digital infrastructure. In India, in the last 9 years, digital infrastructure has undergone a sea change. Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi has recently released a vision document that details India's plans to develop and launch 6G, which is the 6th generation telecom services. This is happening within 6 months of the rollout of 5G services in the country. By 2030, India will have 6G services. I am happy to state that India had the fastest 5G rollout in the world. When 5G was launched by the Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji in the country, I was wondering when we are going to have 5G services in Mizoram. Fortunately, all the telecom operators are implementing 5G, and now 5G is in existence in Mizoram. They are planning to set up the towers in all the district headquarters by the end of April. India is now working with many countries to change the work culture of the whole world using the power of 5G. At a recent program in New Delhi, Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji said that India is working fast on creating 5G smart classrooms, farming techniques, intelligent transport systems, and healthcare applications, including the drone technology for agriculture applications. The Bharat 6G Vision document provides an enabling environment for innovation, capacity building, and faster technology adoption in the country. This is the real digital transformation that we have been waiting for. Earlier, we used to calculate the per capita cost of living, which included roti, kapda, or makan, which means food, clothing, and shelter. However, in a modern, digitized society, these parameters have changed because our basic and fundamental needs have gone beyond these three things. Today, we need to calculate the index of cost of learning, and in a modern society, the cost of learning is parallel to the cost of living. The cost of learning includes tools of learning and acquiring knowledge. Earlier, there were traditional knowledge diffusers who were our teachers. However, in a modern digitized society, there are digital tools that become knowledge dispensers and amplifiers. These include smartphones, TVs, broadband, and satellite, which help in faster distribution of knowledge amongst the masses. Therefore, broadband and satellite add to the index of the cost of learning. Niti Aayog has taken the first decisive step of identifying 100 such items typical of modern digitized economy. These items are necessary for the masses today to be able to experience the revolution of knowledge. Nowadays, all of us will experience. If we go to anybody's house as a guest, before the hosts offer the coffee, the guest will ask for the password for their Wi-Fi. That is the order of the day. The cost of learning is therefore the cost of the masses to have access to the most qualified jobs, to promote national wealth, and to secure the future of our children. I commend EDD's work as a C20 initiative for their study and recommendation of practical skill development and education models that are equitable and accessible for underdeveloped, developing, and emerging economies. I am happy to learn that Amrita has worked closely with the tribal population in mainland India with a vision to provide an integrated, sustainable approach for improving education, health, and livelihood through digital inclusion. India leads the world in knowledge. The whole world is looking at India's growth story today. And yet, if we were to assess India by merely the growth in its GDP, which measures only the monetary value of goods and services produced by the country, India stands below some of the developed nations. And yet, everyone here will agree with me that India has become a knowledge hub and destination. Therefore, the true index to measure an economy is not as its GDP, but its GDKP, the gross domestic knowledge potential. The K factor, which is the knowledge factor, is crucial, and India is far, far ahead of others in the knowledge factor. Education and knowledge, coupled with the use of technology to enhance education and knowledge, are the true measure of a successful, growing nation. And the economic growth of any country is dependent on its growth in knowledge. we are happy that India is a true knowledge economy. Of course, one of the biggest challenge before us remains the task of attaining 100% literacy and how to use technology to reach this goal. Our state of Mizoram has always been amongst the states that have shown highest literacy rates. I think it is next to Kerala. Mizoram is the second highest literacy rate. In the last 10 years, we have seen further improvement. The good news in Mizoram is that we don't have to struggle to educate our girl children. Tribal societies are blessed with gender equality. Our girls go hand in hand with our boys to schools and colleges. Our slogan, therefore, must be education for all, knowledge for all, and digital transformation for all to attain our larger goal of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vishwas, and Sabka Vishwas. Efforts towards education and digital transformation are also in line with our National Education Policy 2020 and Digital India initiatives. Our aim is to make India a global knowledge superpower through digital empowerment. In conclusion, I would like to thank Amma Sri Amrutanandamayi ji for her vision in promoting the importance of education and digital transformation both through leadership of the C20 Engagement Group and in the establishment of her institutions across the country in the form of schools, university campuses, and hospitals. I believe that with the collective efforts of all various stakeholders, we can build a better future for the state, the country, and the world. Let us work together towards building an inclusive, accessible, and equitable education system that builds a better world for our coming generations. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Your Excellency, for your inaugural address, in which you have underlined several new ideas and concepts: a knowledge revolution, the gross domestic knowledge product, the GDKP, the index of cost of learning, and the challenges that lie ahead for achieving 100% literacy across the entire Bharat. We thank you once again for finding the time from your hectic schedule to be amongst us and inaugurating the STI Hub and becoming a part and parcel of the developmental projects in the state. Thank you, Your Excellency, for your very, very inspiring and thought-provoking address. I now call upon Professor Nitya of the Mizoram University to deliver the vote of thanks and to close this inaugural session.
Any function is incomplete without a vote of thanks. So I'm really fortunate to take this opportunity to propose a vote of thanks. Firstly, our deepest gratitude goes to the Honorable Governor of Mizoram, Dr. Hari Babu Kambhampati. So thank you very much for gracing our function as chief guest. Second, our beloved Chief Secretary, Dr. Renu Sharma, who spared her valuable time to join our program and make it a success. Third, I would like to say a big thank you to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Professor Pravakar Rath. He's always helpful whenever we approach him. Thank you very much. Then fourth, our sincere gratitude goes to Mr. Lalmachwana, who is a very good friend of mine, for accepting our invitation to grace the function. Then the next is Ms. Hasina Karbi. Thank you very much for coming all the way from Shillong and make our program a grand success. Then Professor Prema Nedang Gadi. I don't know if I pronounce correctly, but anyway, we have been talking over phones, but this is the first time we met face to face. So thank you very much for coming over here. The next is the leadership of AMA and Amrita team led by Professor Raghu Raman. We have made a good team to start our STI Hub in Mizoram. So we'll be working together for 3 years to make this STI Hub successful. Then the next goes to our MC, Rajna Gupta. She has conducted the program very well. I did not expect such kind of, conduct. Thank you very much for successfully conducting our program. Then I could see the faces of our resource persons who are wearing their badge with the yellow color. They will be our resource person in the technical sessions. So thank you very much for joining our program. Then the University Authority, headed by our Vice Chancellor, and especially the School of Education, who has permitted us to use this comfortable hall for the function. And the participants, actually, while selecting our participants, we are very selective. We targeted 100 participants. So I think all the 100 participants are here. Because instead of having many numbers with few NGOs, we thought that it would be better to get 2 or 3 representatives from different NGOs across Mizoram. So we have NGOs from southern part of Mizoram, Maraland, Lai, and Chakma. So though the number is less, I think this program will really have a great impact. So for that, I would like to convey my big thank you to all the participants who are here. So on behalf of the organizers, once again, thank you one and all.
I now request the closure of this program and playing of the national anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे